Welcome to your dark side. The dark side, described as the shadow, is the part of us that is hidden and repressed because it is usually perceived as a negative trait. Everyone has this. Carl Jung describes the shadow as the negative side of the ego, the inner devil and the personification of evil. For example, when I see someone doing or saying something that disrupts my moral compass, my anger would start bubbling up and I automatically start to imagine swords being thrown into their eyeballs. I usually then feel some kind of remorse for thinking that way, so I try to lock it up and bury it beneath my subconscious. What I just explained right there is my shadow. It is uncaring and it is cold. It seems that the more I try to deny my own shadow, the more intense and out of control it gets. But what if instead I go into a state of awareness and acceptance, rather than denial and shame during the times I face my shadow? One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Society does a pretty good job labeling people as good or bad. Such actions and way of thinking can perpetuate the loneliness and disconnection that people often go through. The pressure to uphold the image of being this ideal human persists, only to disregard the other parts that make up one's authentic self. What if we disengage from labels such as good or bad and just see things as a part of someone? To step out of a judging lens and into a curious, compassionate lens. In doing so, we can perhaps be more accepting and compassionate toward ourselves in order to naturally heal and evolve. Gabor Maté says, "When I am sharply judgmental of any other person, it is because I sense or see reflected in them some aspect of myself that I don't want to acknowledge." That aspect of the self can be described as the shadow. This is where shadow work comes in. Richard Schwartz created a system called Internal Family System Model, IFS, and according to that, there are no bad parts in each respective individual. He says, the more we can cultivate curiosity and compassion towards ourselves, the more we can heal our wounds. The IFS is an evidence-based psychotherapy approach to access an individual's inner protective and wounded parts, things that often feed the shadow, in order to heal them through a step-by-step process called the 6 F's. Step 1. Finding the part of us that needs our attention inside or around our body. So when I get into a state of anger, I try to navigate where that's located in my body. 2. Focus, bringing my attention to that part. So that's immersing myself in the sensory or emotional experience, then allowing that part to reveal itself to me. 3. Flesh out, becoming the observer of that part. So that means separating the part from myself and understanding its characteristics. 4. Feel towards, noticing how I feel as I encounter this part. How do I feel towards this? Is my heart open? 5. Befriending, getting to know the part. What is this part's purest intentions? And the last one, 6, fear, understanding what it's scared of. What are its biggest fears? A sign that the 6 F's process is going successfully is when the shadow self is met with curiosity, compassion, and connectedness. We long to feel seen, accepted, and included. It's all about doing the work to recognize that the light at the end of the tunnel is the light we've had all along in the journey. As Carl Jung puts, as far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being.